the new Garo City of the Wolves. Dakota, how was it?
It, as they say, actions. As soon as Capcom 3 in, like, the best ways, you can see from the trailers it has, like, that kind of 90s comic book aesthetic, and sort of like what they were doing with Sam Show as well, with the cross-hat motion, like, even better, like, than what you saw in the trailers.
Yeah, that's one of the first things you told me after the trailer came out and I got to watch it for myself. You were like, I think that's an older version, because when I played like Fatal Fury or Garo, it's the same series. But yeah, I'm so excited to see that type of style on it.
Yeah, and on top of that, you've got like all these different effects for all these different mechanics, and they don't like completely overwhelm your senses, but there's a lot going on. And then there's some really like cool stuff on top of that. Like I was noticing when you get like a counter hit, it makes like a shattered glass like visual effect on top of like the big counter. You've got like your EX moves, you've got like all your guarding stuff that we'll get into in a minute. I also got to talk with the producer Oda-san and director Konya-san as well, and they seem pretty darn excited about the Rev Excel system, which we'll get into here in just a minute.
Yeah, so that's another thing, because I didn't really know anything about it. I knew we were probably going to see footage, right, because they showed it a while ago. So I was just waiting, yesterday, see the footage. You know, it looks really cool. I'm loving the vibe. But then we just get these, what does that mean?
The basic gist of it is you can kind of think of the Rev system working like percent, and your meter builds up for using what they call Rev actions. And that includes Rev arts, which are essentially EX moves. You've got the Rev blow, which is a armored attack that you can only use while you're in the SBG state, which works almost exactly like the TOP system in Garo.
Yeah, and if we have people who haven't played Garo, the TOP system was that you got to choose a segment of your HP bar, and while there you got like access to a special super, but in this game you get access to the Rev Blow mechanic while you're there, right?
Yeah, and then on top of that there is, I didn't get to see it because they labeled it as secret while we were there, but there is what they call the hidden gear. If you saw at the end of the trailer, Rock does a power geyser, and that is a super special that you can only use while in SBG.
Right, and you said that the Rev Blow is like an armored move that you can use just on the ground or in the air too?
No, everybody has a grounded and air version, so when you saw Terry do the air crack...
You mind game while you have that available to you.
Yep, and you can still put it at the start of your health bar, in the middle, or at the end of your health bar.
That's really cool, because that's a mechanic that I felt was kind of underutilized in Garo. For those who don't know, here it makes more sense, because in Garo you would get access to a certain super while you were in top, but you just put it... I feel like it's the natural evolution and kind of the culmination of this concept that's been like 20 years in the making.
Right, and then the real meat and potatoes of this game seems like it's going to be in the Rev Excel system, which you probably saw in the trailers. It looked like, oh, you can cancel specials into specials, and yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. You can chain EX moves into EX moves. If you saw in the trailer, it leaves behind like that cool like after image effect, so you can see to do EX into EX, you have to like pretty much do the inputs like right after each other. So it's not like it's not like very free flow like a Roman cancel system, but it is still a lot of fun and opens up things like a lot more than any other game in the Fatal Fury series in the past.
Yeah, and so I imagine like it's gonna be extremely useful for punishes and stuff. For example, like you can really style on your... That's something I've been complaining about a lot for a while now, is the lack of defensive options in a lot of modern fighting games. And what was it, the Rev Guard? Is that what it's called?
Yes, you have a brand new system called Rev that I felt like was really fun, especially for Hotaru, who I played most extensively through the demo.
Yeah, you know, I've been asking for more defensive options. I love movement. So putting these pieces together after hearing about the system and then checking the video, because I noticed Rock kinda does that thing where he goes into Rev Guard and then does the dash and then cancels that into a special that crosses up, and I'm like, bro, this looks so sick, come on, like... It looks so active, and I love that. Here's the thing, though. You just mentioned it. There is a drawback. We already compared the rev system to the drive system for Street Fighter 6, and you know, everyone knows if you use the drive system too much, you end up in burnout. Same goes here. If you rev to the max, you end up...
And so while you're overheated, you can only block a certain amount of attacks, and then you'll be guard broken. So that can, you know, open you up to basically a free combo if you're too much on the defense. But like SF6, there are ways to mitigate that. the way to make your gauge recharge faster is to be proactive, to be offensive. It'll constantly tick down, but you can make it go faster by landing attack.
I can't deny the impact it has on the game's popularity. You know, Street Fighter 6 has been popping off majorly, and I think it's in no small part because of this. So I don't think it's, as long as it's an option, I'm pretty fine with it. And I think they're trying to follow a lot of the good things that Street Fighter 6 has done, so I'm happy to see that. But in general, I'm just very impressed with what we've seen so far, because watching the footage, I think I got maybe 10% of what there is to be excited about.
All these new offensive mechanics, but at the same time, there's like just as many defensive mechanics. So from what I played, it's a very nice and natural, like, back and forth, push and pull of offense and defense that feels very active and fast, but at the same time not overly frantic.
It definitely sounds like there's a good, like, interplay between the players with the whole thing, and, you know, I'm so excited to see more of this. God knows, like, what's coming up as far as characters go, because clearly they're leaning more into the Fatal Fury side, because we already saw, you know, from the early posters, they had, like, Andy and Joe and whatnot, because in the original Garou, Terry was the only returning character. So you have this rich cast of Garou characters that people love and they're very nostalgic, but you also have this huge Fatal Fury cast, and there's so many different characters to pick and choose from, and, you know, I just know that my girl, B. Janet, is going to be in there, so I'm set, right? Because I have her, I have Terry, what else do I need? Before we cap this off, is there any character you're looking forward to?
Like a reworking of KOF 15, it is a true Garo sequel. It feels like Garo, but everything kind of works and has like 5 to 10 extra layers added on top of it. And so that's really exciting. From what, like, I played, I was telling the guys, they're like, if things continue like this is probably going to be my favorite SNK game.
Woohoo! Oh man, I'm not sure, based on what I've seen, I'm not sure I could go that far, but I am a huge SNK fan. And just hearing that makes me really excited. So, oh man, I can't wait for the next info dump.
And also stay tuned, because we've probably got plenty more coverage coming up for this game.